This one trade changed everything for me. I was one trade away from blowing my funded account and just going down a big psychological battle where I probably wouldn't have got out of and quit trading, got a regular job, but this one trade saved all of that. And now I'm back in the game. So let's go. This was a perfect 1 to 2.5 trade, but as I was saying earlier, I was $800 away from blowing my account and I needed a win now. So that's exactly what we got. Came at a perfect time. So with that being said, going up to the higher time frame, I'll remove all of these stuff out of the way so I can start from the top. But at the higher time frame before market opened, we were in this little uptrend. Not much happened. We took out these previous day highs. But there was also news at 8:30 that came out. So you might be like, okay, with all of this massive downtrend in the previous days and then kind of accumulating a little bit of an uptrend, what are you going to do with that? Why did you do what you did? So obviously I thought, okay, we're now in an uptrend after this big downtrend. So I was bullish at the start of the day. So just kind of marking out these highs because these are all relative highs of this big downtrend. So that's all big liquidity points to take out. But then we also, like I was saying earlier, took out this high. Didn't respect that as a liquidity sweep, so I didn't mark that out. And then we also have the lows of previous day and then London lows because London and Asian session overlap, as you can see right here. So just marking out those lows on the day, but not a true story of what could happen on ICT bias. Although there are these relative lows right here from the pre-market that we could sweep out and go lower and take. So we just need a little bit more information to get a true bias. So looking at the volume profile on the last 5 trading days, we are at this value area low, as you can see right here. So we're kind of going to respect this zone, and as you can see, we're doing that perfectly. So the bias on the day, instead of bullish because this little uptrend right here, we are strictly reacting to how it's going to respect this value area low. Is it going to come up from below and respect it and go down, or is it going to blow through, come back, bounce off, and then go back up higher to the POC up here? As you can see, that didn't happen. Maybe it will later, but I don't know. So with that, I marked out this start of the high volume node at this point here. So that was a zone that we could take out. London lows here, lows of the previous day at this point, as you can see that we already marked out. And then if we were going to go higher, then I had this start of the high volume node marked out from this big bell curve. Not any of these little ones. I think we would blow past that, especially with these relative lows. And as you can see, at this big bell curve high volume node, there is this little accumulation phase in the market. So just had that as the take profit point if we were bullish on the day, but no bias yet, just strictly reacting to the market. So going down to the 1 minute time frame, start of market open, right? So we have a big move up, but this point right here is the news that came out. So I kind of say this whole move is the news move. So that's a liquidity point. And then right as it came out is also the start. So at the bottom of that candle, those are kind of big liquidity points. It's supposed to be, but as you can see, that didn't respect it very well. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. But if that would have been a big point in bias on the day. So just know that for the future. But as you can see, it didn't quite respect the value area low very well. So I was bullish on the day looking for longs. And I'm only looking for A+ setups here so I can have the highest win rate and highest risk to reward. And I'm just not forcing anything. I'm letting it all come to me. So no true entry towards the upside, and then we had this big move down. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna come back, respect it, respect the value area low, and then go back higher, target these highs, and then these highs up here. So I was still bullish on the day, and there wasn't really anything that happened towards the upside. It just completely got absorbed by the market and by the banks, by the institutional orders. Not much happened really. So I wanted to see a move higher from this move here. But nothing happened, as I just said. So then it came back lower, right? And then at this point, I'm like, okay, it came back lower. We're not respecting this as a big rejection zone to go back up higher. So I'm switching my bias to bearish, looking for shorts now because of this big, don't know what that was, but because of this big just absorption of all the buys. So I'll remove this big zone out of the way, but know that that's the value area low rejection zone. So at this point, I'm just waiting, and now I'm bearish looking for shorts. We had this manipulation of the highs, very, very slight manipulation, and then I wanted to see a displacement through these lows right here. But as you can see, we didn't get that in 3 candles, so we waited and just waited for a setup even more. And then at this point, we came back up. There's this inverse fair value gap and then a displacement through series of up close candles of 2, displacement through, and at that point, that is a perfect entry for me. At that value area low, at that inverse fair value gap, and then a displacement lower. That's an A+ setup for me. Price was at this point in the candle when I opened when I entered, not opened. Price was at that point because I enter after the candle close of this one, stops at the manipulation high, targeting the low that I marked out earlier for, should have been a 2 to 5, but that doesn't, sorry. Stops at the high of the series of candles. So at the inverse high. That's what it was. For a 2.5 risk to reward ratio for perfect entry. Honestly, this entire trade, I was expecting it to go straight back up because I was still kind of holding on to that bullish bias on the day. Honestly, I should have still, but I was just expecting it to go back up, and I was expecting the loss the entire time, which really, really helped me with the psychological battle behind it, because otherwise I feel like I would have closed early. I would have just been really stuck on this trade later in the day and just really been not okay with it. And like I said, I was at $800 left in my account because I took 2 losses on Friday, I believe. Couldn't make a video on that, so sorry about that. I was out of town and busy, so couldn't get a video out for you guys. I just got back last night. But yeah, so I took 2 losses. I lost a lot in my account and basically went back to exactly where I didn't want to be, which sucks. And I hated it, and I was stuck on the trade, and I was thinking about it a lot and just how much I lost, and I didn't know what to do. So I de-risked, and I risked about half of it. So no, I didn't risk half. I risked $200, so a fourth of it, and then hit this nice 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio, which is exactly what I needed and basically saved me, because I know if I lost and I lose this funded account, then I spiral and I probably quit trading, never upload a video again. But probably not realistically, but pretty much I would have taken a very, very deep break and just stopped for a while. Um, because of the toll that it would have taken on me. So very happy about that. But the only thing that I could have done differently on the day was after I hit TP there, I was so just, I needed to get off right now because I couldn't take another loss and I don't want to lose the funded account more and like go back into that drawdown again. What I should have done is been okay with losses, accepted it before, realized that price is reacting off this point that I marked out, and said, okay, now we're going into a bullish bias because it's respecting it perfectly and just targeting this value area low at that point. So what I should have done differently is stayed on the charts, stayed looking at it, taken this long at this point here because price tapped into this order block and then displaced higher and puts take profit at the value area low for a good 1 to 1.5. But I didn't, and that could have multiplied my profit on the day. But that's just something I gotta get used to going forward, is not stopping on one win, keep going and pressing the gas no matter what, and just being okay with the losses. So that's the only thing that I would have done differently. But oh, you guys might be wondering what this big bar is on the bottom. It's a indicator. It's the cumulative volume delta indicator. It's just something that helps with a little bit more confirmation. So if there's an SMT on this compared to the chart, then I will like that. Or if I don't trade based off of it, but I like to just watch that so I see where the big movements are. But I never rely on that. I never even go based off of that to add it. I never don't take a trade because of this. It's just something that I like looking at. So yeah, with all that being said, after the trade in the video, we do a verse of the day to put God at the center of our trading journey. So yeah, that just putting him at the center of our life and relying on him through everything, trusting in his plan, and having that reminder every single day. So with that being said, today's verse of the day is Matthew 7:14, and Matthew 7:14 says, "But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." So only a few find it, right? So just that's kind of just a reminder to get a better relationship with God, grow closer to him, study the word, and but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. So it's very small, not very many people do it. It's not like the trend, I guess you could say. But get right with God so you can have eternal life and feel the love and joy that Jesus gives everyone. So if you guys did take it any other way, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear that. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. And I'm sorry because I'm not great at breaking down these verses of the day. English class was never my strong suit. It was always my worst class, and breaking down poetry and all of the stupid passages and stupid stuff that we had to do in high school. I was terrible at it. So I'm sure you guys are a lot better at that and finding the deeper meaning in it. But that is something I will get better at, is just diving deeper into it, finding the true meaning behind it. But yeah, so sorry about that for now. I will try and get a lot better about that in the future. But just bear with me with time. It's going to take a little bit, so yeah. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys for the video on the day. As I was saying earlier, this one trade basically saved my entire journey because now I have motivation and hope for the future to save this account and make this my permanent account. So not permanent, but for the moment of a couple months, so I can take out all of the profit and just relying on that as an income to pay for my college. And yeah,